What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Absolute Batman issue number 18. This one is written by Scott Snyder with artwork by guest artist Eric Canetti. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, I apologize. But this is the Seventh Kingdom Part 2. This is the second part of this Poison Ivy storyline. And I think out of the villains they've done so far with Absolute Batman, Poison Ivy just feels kind of similar to what we've already seen, maybe a few slight tweaks. But it's, a pretty decent issue. There's a lot of different moving pieces. We come to find out a little bit more about Martha Wayne's connection to the Court of Owls. We do learn that she was a Talon at one point. And, Scott Snyder's one of the creators of the Court of Owls. And in the Court of Owls, in the mainline universe, they're a secret society of, elite, wealthy Gothamites that kind of controlled the city from the sidelines. But here, they're meant to kind of fight the rich and the powerful and the corrupt. So there's a bit of an inverse to it in the Absolute universe, which I thought was kind of cool. If you're going to do something different with them, might as well make them the inverse. But they were kind of driven out of Gotham by something. And Ivy here comes to the conclusion about this whole grim character, the Joker or whatever, who's basically the Absolute universe version of Bruce Wayne in a way. Jeps, as I call him, the Joker Epstein Pennywise character and his influence over everything. She wants to kind of change Batman so that way they can evolve him in a way to where he can just stop this Joker in this universe, because he's just so pure evil and just the most sick, twisted character you can kind of think of. So we've really been slowly building to Absolute Joker and the confrontation he's going to have with Batman for the first time. Everything we've seen beforehand, nothing compares to just how evil this character is supposed to be. But we also come to see Absolute Batman's willing to kind of go to depths that the normal Batman won't go to. We see that the only human part left of Ivy in this is her heart, and by the end of the issue, Batman just kind of destroys her heart, basically kind of killing her. And so there's no human side of her left over. So it shows that he's willing to kind of cross the line that the mainline universe Batman won't do, and that's take a life. And that'll be interesting to see the repercussions of that kind of going forward, as he's kind of driven to just much darker places than we've seen before with the mainline Batman. So some decent action bits there. We also see that Bruce and his friends are kind of falling apart a little bit more. They just don't want anything to do with him at this point. And everything's kind of falling apart around him. We also see that Mayor Gordon, Jim Gordon, I should say, confronts him about the fact that he knows that he's Batman. So that'll be interesting to see how that kind of unfolds. And of course, we see a little bit more of the evil Absolute Joker. So yeah, and then like I said, Ivy's kind of defeated. Martha Wayne talks about how if we're not going to fight back, then you might as well just kind of end me once and for all. And Bruce's end up saved by Barbara Gordon, even though he kind of pushed her out of the way beforehand. But where is he going to be going forward now? Now he has to become something much worse in order to kind of stop what's coming. Oh, we also see a little bit of the repercussions. Harvey Dent's kind of done with his stuff. Nigma's kind of had it with people. And it seems that the cure is kind of working on Wayland. We get to see his big, giant, naked ass in this thing. So maybe he'll shrink down to normal size, or he'll just be kind of this giant version of himself. So that'll be kind of interesting, I suppose. But yeah, that's that. And a lot of different moving pieces in here. I did enjoy the artwork for the most part with this guest artist who kind of took over. Granted, I've been enjoying the Nick Dragotta artwork so far quite a bit, but it's nice to kind of have somebody else and do their bit of a different take on the whole Absolute universe version of things. Now, Poison Ivy just didn't feel as unique. It just felt, given how much she's kind of changed over the years within the mainline Batman stuff, she didn't feel that unique to me, I suppose. It kind of incorporated stuff we've seen with her before, and it didn't feel as fresh or unique. I mean, now these villains are kind of starting to feel a little bit similar, because they're all kind of these crazy, monstrous beings at this point that can kind of change their physical appearance to kind of face off against Batman and just feel kind of super unstoppable in some ways, although she seemed to be kind of taken out a little bit easier. I'm hoping to get something a little bit different and more unique with some of these other villains as we kind of go forward. Now, Absolute Joker, a very different take on the Joker than we've seen before. Poison Ivy didn't feel all that different. Now we got Scarecrow coming up, and he's gonna be some crazy looking monstrous thing, and we'll see how that kind of unfolds. I'm curious to know about the Absolute Robin, because I think issue 20 is supposed to be the appearance of Absolute Robin in this universe. Now, we've seen little brief appearances of Dick Grayson. According to Scott Snyder, from what I've heard in interviews, all the Absolute Robins, all the mainline Robins exist in this world, except for Damian, which does make sense because Bruce hasn't met Talia at this point, at least that I'm aware of. So he can't really exist in this universe until they meet and conceive a child together. I wonder if that'll ever happen. I doubt it. I don't know. I Absolute Damien would be interesting to see, or maybe have the mainline Damien come and meet Absolute Batman in this universe and just see how he's like the only thing that's not really present there. So that'd be something I kind of like to see at some point, because we've had the Absolute Universe crossover in DCKO and they got to meet their counterparts in some way. So I like to kind of see that. I don't know if Scott Snyder has a plan for that, but that'd be something I kind of be interested in watching. So, but yeah, we're really kind of building up some of the mythos a little bit in this version of Gotham with the reveal of Martha Wayne, and we see the conversation he has with Jim Gordon. I like how he's just like, yeah, it's not hard to figure out, it's you, and maybe your mom doesn't really know and doesn't really want to come to terms with the fact that you're the Batman in this world, and really kind of setting up the monstrous nature of the Joker in this universe. So I'm like I said, I'm excited to see when they do inevitably cross paths finally. We've really been kind of slowly building to it and seen the moving pieces in that, and how Absolute Joker is just the most evil version of the character ever conceived. I mean, look how he turned into that giant shape-shifting monster, and what he does with kids, and just the inverse of Bruce Wayne, and just the pure evil nature of him. So that's something that'll be interesting to see unfold. But anyways, I feel like I've rambled on a bit much about this thing. I liked it overall. It's not the best of the Absolute issues I've read so far. I mean, like I said, Ivy didn't feel as uniquely different as some of the other Absolute versions of the characters. But hey, you know what? They've already done crazy stuff with Ivy in the main universe. I mean, it's not too much else new you can kind of do here, but they did something, especially with the ending and the repercussions going forward of what Absolute Batman was willing to do to try and stop her, and the lines he's now willing to cross to kind of just fight back against this city and all the evil that's involved with it. So yeah, there's that. But anyways, what did you think of the issue? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Post your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, all that other fun stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. And I'm officially caught up with all the DC stuff. Now I got to catch up on some Godzilla-related comic books and a few other things. So look forward to all that. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.